Jamie Dornan and the Unrevealed Secrets. We will be shocked by this. A seemingly normal talk show left millions of viewers around the world frozen. In the final part of the show Late Night with Alex Marino, actor Jamie Dornan suddenly pulled a piece of paper from his breast pocket and said, "I am going to read a part of a personal diary that I wrote in 2017 right after the last part of 50 Shades was finished. It has never been published." The audience was silent. The host was stunned. From the first lines, people understood this was no longer a normal conversation. Tearful nights of filming. Jamie Dornan began to recount the quiet and tense nights on set, where everyone thought that he and Dakota Johnson were extremely close. "We weren't always laughing and joking. There were days when she avoided me all day. I didn't understand why, until I read a little article that she burst into tears after a scene. I thought I was a good co-star, but it seems I hurt her without knowing it." Jamie describes the process of filming 50 Shades as an extreme psychological experience. Not just the sex scene, but the feeling of playing a deep love but not being able to take it off the set. "We lived in the role for so long. There were times when I didn't know which was me and which was Christian Grey. A secret never told." And then, Jamie sighed, nodded slightly, and continued to reveal something that made the audience shudder. "I was in love with Dakota. Not in a crush kind of way. Really in love." The entire room fell silent. Jamie continued, "I never dared to admit it. Not to my wife, not to my manager, not to myself. I only dared to write it down in my diary." He paused. His eyes were red, and then, slowly read a paragraph. April 8, 2017 Today, Dakota sat in the car for 45 minutes after filming. I saw her crying. I didn't dare to approach. What did I do wrong? Or was it simply loving her too late? A Life of Two Worlds. Jamie said that after finishing the 50 Shades series, he tried to return to family life. He loved his wife, loved his children, and cherished everything he had. But deep in his mind, Dakota's image still appeared like an unhealed scratch. I used to wake up in the middle of the night, dreaming of the backstage scene, where she smiled, but her eyes seemed to hide something. I knew I shouldn't think about it anymore. But memories never ask permission." He affirmed that he had never betrayed his family. But his heart had never completely belonged to any world. The reason for the silence. Why has Jamie never said this? He replied, "Because I was afraid. I was afraid people would think I was cheating. I was afraid of hurting Dakota. And most of all, I was afraid of admitting to myself that I had missed something so important. She said to me, just once, after the last scene, 'Do you regret it?' I just laughed and said, 'No, because everything happened in time.' But that was the only lie I ever told her." Dakota Johnson's reaction, fictional. 3 days after the talk show, Dakota Johnson posted a short status on her personal account. "In the end, we all carry things we didn't get to say. But better late than never." That status was shared more than 6 million times. In a later, fictional, interview, Dakota admitted, "I know Jamie had feelings for me. And I had feelings for him. But I think we were both too afraid to screw things up." The audience was shocked. The online community couldn't believe what they heard. "This is crazy. They were really in love. And they acted like it was nothing. This is the biggest secret Hollywood has ever kept." Jamie Dornan is a man to be admired. It's brave to be able to face your feelings after all these years. The hashtag Jamie and Dakota is back on the global trending list after nearly a decade. Intersection and breakup. In a final interview together, fictional, March 2026, Jamie and Dakota sat side by side, revealing for the first time everything they had kept secret for a decade. Dakota looked at Jamie, smiling sadly. "We loved each other, but not at the right time, right?" Jamie nodded. "Maybe in another world, another time. I wouldn't have let you go." They were silent. There was no hug, no tears, just a release, for both of them, and for the audience who had fallen in love with them on screen. The truth and the behind-the-scenes story that has never been revealed. Jamie revealed more little secrets that no one knew. The scene where he cried was actually not in the script, because he couldn't bear to see Dakota so exhausted that she was shaking. Once, the director wanted to replace Dakota with another actress for the third film, but Jamie threatened to pull out of the project if that happened. They once spent a single evening after filming, sitting and talking until 4 a.m. on a beach in Vancouver, and never mentioned that night again.